Hello, this is Dr. Lemon. I want to share with you a keynote speech. I was speaking to the Federal Executive Board in Atlanta, Georgia. We want to talk more about not just transactions with our workforce, but transformation. Not just changing their behavior, but changing their beliefs. And if you take your workforce to the next level, it's going to take a belief system, because if you change their belief, they'll continue to work for you again, and again. We must build trust, and that trust will bring more positive affirmation and action. Watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please assist me in giving a very warm welcome to Dr. Robert Lemon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate this opportunity to stand before you to present a message that has been my lifelong dream called Now is Your Time. For most of our award winners today, in 2007, I actually received the 2007 Community Service Award for the United States Postal Service. It was a finalist in the Federal Executive Board of South Florida. I want you to look at the person right next to you and repeat after me. Say, if it is to be, it's up to me.
It's up to me.
Now look at the person on the other side and repeat after me. Say, if everyone were like you, there would be no need for me. I am somebody. I'll just stop by to share with you a portion of my life as I talk about time. It seems like yesterday I was hired by the United States Postal Service, and just like that in a dash, 3 years ago, I am fully retired and I'm doing what I love to do for the rest of my life. I understand that it's so important to know where you come from, so I shared with my PowerPoint today the story of Thurgood Marshall going down to South Carolina, where I was born with my parents. Actually, were sharecroppers' children. And he wanted to integrate and educate those who were in the Deep South. Here are my parents. I brought my parents along with me to share with you that it's so important to know that your parents mean well, but there are some things I found in my everyday life that seems to be common. It doesn't make any difference whether you're a baby boomer, whether you're Generation X, Generation Next, Generation Y, of course. Generation Y is just take out the garbage. They go, why? Pick up the trash. Why? And then we have Generation Z. It seems that they're so busy with social media that if you ask them a common question, they seem to be in the land of Nod. But I understood my parents, and there was always something about my parents that taught me about hard work, service to my community, and giving back. Here's just a few lines, and I want you, this is audience participation. If you grew up in a house as I grew up in, you would know how to answer just a few sentences, and you can read along if you can. Things that our parents would say. My parents would say, if you think I'm going to be your slave, you got another thing coming. You be quiet when I'm talking to you. Be quiet when I ask you a question. Why, when I was your age, I had to walk to school 7 miles up the hill in the rain, hail, sleet, and snow, barefooted. As long as you live in my house, you want to cry? Okay, I'll give you something to cry for. This spanking is going to hurt me just as much as it. You're going to follow your friends? Really? If your friends jump off are you going to jump off Go in, wash your hands, eat your dinner, clean your plate. Do you know there are people in this world who don't have? And if you don't eat your food as hard as I work, go in, clean up your room, make up your bed. Why? Why? Because I hope you don't act like this when you grow up. And if you do act like this when you grow up, when your children are born, I hope your children learn to act just like things our parents would say. My life life has transitioned as a result of me coming to the end of my career, and I've learned 30 years of your life. You learn 30 years, you earn the final 30 years, you're going to give it back. So I want to talk to those of you who are past your stage of doing just enough not to get fired, and they're paying you just enough to quit. Or just enough not to quit. I made up my mind that I was going to transition from 34 years of federal government, and I took a trip to South Africa. The Peace Corps is about serving. And I want to acknowledge them and all the work that they do. As a matter of fact, let's acknowledge all our federal employees today with an applaud, if you don't mind, for doing such a great job. After traveling to Cape Town, South Africa, and taking the time to discover that there's some people who were at risk and they had a high AIDS rate, and also had issues in my community in South Florida where we were #1 in the nation for murder and #1 in the nation for poverty. So for 25 years, I went into South Florida prisons, and I went to high schools, and I talked to athletes about success. I talked to at-risk youth about success. And after traveling from Cape Town, South Africa, I reminded myself that service is the price you pay for the space that you occupy. As a result of me sharing my story, here's an opportunity that I work with one of the best crews in the world in retail and customer service, and I understood Can I Help You can forever change somebody's life. So my message to you today is now is your time. Now is the time. As government workers, we have to become mentors. Mentors in our community are needed. That's why I commend those who are being awarded today for being an example of what happens when you go beyond 8 hours a day working on a job and spend 4 hours a day trying to make a difference. How many of you know the time is right now? This is the hour, this is the moment. You're in the right place at the right time. Could you repeat after me? Show up on time.
Show up on time.
If you show up on time, you eliminate at least 80% of your competition. Say, show up on time.
Show up on time.
With a plan. You eliminate 90% of your competition. Say, show up on time. With a plan and commitment. You eliminate 95% of your competition. Say, show up on time with a plan and commitment and execute. Execute. You eliminate 110% of your competition. God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Dr. Lemon, for coming all the way from Florida to talk to us too.
Hope you enjoyed that presentation, and always remember that if all you have is information, people will take your information, use it, and discard you. But if you have a belief system and trust, they'll show up to work, be productive, and work positively again and again. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. God bless you.